So here's your latest edition of your homework. So let's get cracking on with this. So first question is to do with just subtracting one decimal number from another. Right. So what we've got is you write 6.50 and then we take away 2.88. Right, remember to line up your decimal points. So what we've got here is we're going to just look, right, 0 minus 8, we can't do that, so we're going to have to borrow from the 5, so that's going to be a 4 and that's going to be a 1. So 10 minus 8 is 2. 4 minus 8, we can't do that, so we're going to have to borrow 1 here. So that's going to be now 14 minus 8, which is 6. And we can do 5 minus 2, so that is 3. Okay, next one here, this is when you need to remember your good old BODMAS. So what we have to do is think about doing your brackets. Think about doing the brackets first, not the brackets. Think about doing the multiplying first, okay? Then after that, we can then think about doing your subtracting, okay? So your subtracting bit, we'll do that after. So what you've got is 3 times 4 is 12, so we end up with 16 minus 12, and that equals 4. Now, if you have a wee look at these ones, we want to round it to 3 decimal places, or to 2 decimal places, not doing too well on this one. So we actually look at the 3rd decimal place in each one, and that actually tells you if you're rounding it up or if you're keeping it the same. So 7, well, that means that's going to be rounded to 9. Now 9 will then go to 0, but it'll be carrying 1 over, so that'll be 11.20. You then look at, that's a 1, so the 5 is going to remain the same, 0.95, and the 6 means that 4 is going to become a 5, so that is 14.95. Now this one we're going to do the smallest first, okay, so we're going to reorder it. So what we could do is that's 0.35, just score it out once you've done it, 0.5, 0.75, so the ones with the zeros will be to the left hand side. We then do 1.05, 1.3, and 1.35. Now 10% of 567 is basically just 567. Divide that by 10. Okay, so remember, if you're dividing it by 10, that's equivalent to doing that. So if you divide it by 10, all these numbers shift to the right by 1. So that will give you 56.7. So 10% is 56.7 millilitres. So remember your units. We then have 1, what we'll do, so now 1, if I just say 1 equals 100%. Okay, so 1.3 is 133%. That's 106%. And that is 4%. So here's questions 7 to 12, right? So what I've got here is my wee pen working? Yep, right. Right, anyway, right, so 3a plus a, sorry, 3a equals a plus 10. So what we need to do, well, we can take away a from both sides. So we end up with 2a equals 10. So 2 times what equals 10? Well, a equals 5. Then 4a minus 9 equals a plus 12. So what we can do is we can take away a from both sides just to have a and only one side. So we end up with 3a minus 9 equals 12. Now, what we can then do is we can add a 9 to both sides. So we end up having 3a equals 21. So therefore a equals 7. not the best to be writing this. And 6b plus 9 equals 3b plus 49. So we're going to get rid of these two b's by subtracting them. So that will give us 4b plus 9 equals 49. We want just the b's on this side and all the numbers on the other side, so I'm going to take 9 away from both sides. So what you do to one side, you have to do to another. So that gives me 4b equals 40, therefore b equals 10. So to do multiplying brackets, you just multiply the numerator together and multiply the denominator. So that's 15 over 40. This one, it's again, you go to BODMAS. Okay, so BODMAS, incidentally, you could simplify that to 3 over 8 just by dividing that by 5 and dividing that by 5. So BODMAS says do the multiplication and then the subtracting, because that's the only got two unique operations. So we're going to multiply these first and then we can subtract them both. So 5 times 2 is 10, minus 2 times 3 is 6, so that equals 4. Let's collect these terms together. So to do that, we're going to look at all the 7a's. Okay, so we've got 7a squared, and then we've got minus 2a squared, so that's going to be 5a squared. We then got a's just on their own. Okay, choose a better colour. So we've got a's on their own, so that's minus a. And we've also got a b. So let's see, so we've got 3b plus 2b. So that's going to be plus 5b. Then if we have a wee look at this question, a is equal to 3, b is 4, c is minus 2. So 5 times b, so b was 4, right? So I made a wee mistake there. So 5 times 4 plus 2 times 3. So multiply these out first. So that's 20 plus 6 equals 26. Now if you say A, B and C, what it is just all these numbers are multiplied together. So that's 3 times 4 times minus 2. 3 times 4 is 12, times minus 2 gives you minus 24. You need to keep an eye out for the negative signs. Now if you expand this, you go 7 times 2. We then do 7a times 3b, and then 7a times minus 8. Okay, so 7a times 2a is 14, and a times a is a squared, plus 7a times 3b, and that is going to be 21ab, and minus 7a times 8. Okay, so that's going to be, it'll be 56a. Okay, doke. Right, so this is fractions, so we're going to get equivalent fractions which uses different numbers but they represent a same quantity. Okay, so a third, well, all you need to do is think of a number and take that number and times both the numerator and the denominator. So say I had 2, equivalent fraction would be, well, that's 2 over 6. If I had 3, equivalent would be 3 over 9, 4 over 12. Okay, so you could take anything you want. I'm going to take 10 for this, so equivalent fraction would be 30 over 50. Here's another one, 300 over 500. So I'm just basically taking a number and times in the numerator by it, and times in the denominator by it. I'll take 2, so that's going to be 6 over 10. This one, I'll say 10 over 6, if it's 10 over 12 even, if I times both by 2. times it by 10 is 50 over 60. 500 over 600. Okay, so hopefully you're seeing the theme there. Times it by 2, so 4 over 12. Right. 40 over 70. 4,000 over 7,000. So you just get a number, times it by the numerator, times it by the denominator. So what we've got here is we're going to simplify each one. So we're going to find a number that basically find the largest number that can divide into both the numerator and the denominator. So I normally start with that using the denominator just to see if it works. So 4 into 4, yep, goes once. 4 into 12 goes 3 times. Okay, so that is a third. 5 into 5 goes once. 5 into 10 goes twice, so that's a half. 9 into 9 goes once. 9 into 18 goes twice. Okay. 15, well, 15 into 15, do that once. There's a problem. 15 into 35. 15, 30, 45. So we need to think of something else. So if you divide both by 5, you find that's 3. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, that's 7. If you look at this one here, 9 goes into 9 once, 9 goes into 27 3 times. These ones are quite nice. If there's got a 0 at the end, I just cancel it out, and that's the same as 5 over 6. That's basically because 10 goes into 55 times and 10 goes into 60 6 times. Okay. 4, so does 4 go into 32? 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32. Yep, goes in 8 times, so that's 1 over 8. So 4 goes into this once, 4 goes into 32, 8 times. What goes into 14 and 21? 7 goes into 14 2 times and goes into 21 3 times. So that's the same as 2